Welcome everybody, Scarlet Fury here, showcasing my new Wildborne Modpack. This is version beta 25.5. I'm sure a lot of you have seen my posts on social media about this Modpack project that I've been working on. This is a long-term project. I've been working on this for a year and a half-ish, almost. So I'm excited to share it with you guys. You can hear my custom music playing in the background. That is one of the features, custom main menu screen, all that fun, fancy stuff. Literally using a mod called Fancy Menu. Fun. You also probably saw the fancy loading screen. I'm going to try and keep that in as well. These are all custom screenshots that I took myself in various different worlds. I'm going to update that background slideshow as time goes on. You've probably heard this track. I released it earlier on my channel. This is the Frontiers theme, the main theme of the mod pack. But yeah, I just want to do a quick introduction video, kind of show you guys sort of what the entire idea behind it is, and why I'm making it. So we're just going to call this intro and visuals, because that's what this video is going to be about. I will release a survival gameplay video on this a little later, but I just want this to be a quick introduction to everything. So let's create a world. You can see I've got the tips mod installed. That's going to be displaying tips on how to play the game and how gameplay progression goes through this mod pack. This is just a general feel of how everything's going to look. You can tell I'm definitely using shaders. This version beta 25.5, is compatible with shaders. I found a mod that makes the weather mod, Pyromaniacs Weather, compatible with shaders. So that is a lovely thing. Let me just turn off my hotbar there for a bit so you guys can focus on this gorgeous sunrise. You can see, if I fly up a little bit, those clouds off in the distance, that is from the Pyromaniacs Weathers mod. That is a main feature of this mod pack because it offers incredibly realistic weather. Now, granted, it doesn't look as high resolution as the fancy shader clouds above us here, but there's a reason for that. I am trying to optimize this entire mod pack for performance. Right now, this is running on 8 gigabytes of RAM. My computer actually has 128 gigabytes, but I purposefully stress this mod pack at 8 gigabytes. If it runs better at 8 gigabytes, it'll run on anybody's PC. Granted, it does have to be a somewhat modern PC, especially if you're using shaders. But if I increased the resolution of those ray trace clouds from Pyromaniacs Weather, this would lag a significant amount more. Obviously, if you have a higher end PC, you can turn those settings up if you want. But I have set them into the ideals. The shaders I'm currently using are complementary unbound. I have a special profile set up specifically for this mod pack. There were a few settings I had to tweak that I just personally feel adds more life and detail, while also preventing it from getting too caught up in performance issues. This is using a completely custom texture pack, resource pack, even some custom models that I've been working on making in Blockbench. Like you can see with the tree leaves. Those aren't your normal typical Minecraft blocky leaves, and the reason is Wildborne is about realism. My entire game goal with this is to transform Minecraft into as realistic as possible while making it as performance as possible and yet enjoyable as possible as far as gameplay and styles go. I know everybody plays Minecraft differently. There's a bunch of different gameplay styles, different mechanics that people love. Some like to build and creative, some like to explore and adventure and challenge themselves, some like to do hardcore survival, some like to do redstone engineering or other sorts of engineering, and some like to just be casual player of all those types. So really the goal here is to build a mod pack that everybody can enjoy while maximizing the realistic feel. But that's what the custom resources and models are for, because just look at how beautiful that looks. Oh, I love those textures and those models. The birch trees just look so, they just pop beautifully. They look poofier, they look bushier. Took me a while to get those to look decent. But these trees actually generate with a wide variation of leaves. There are 4 different leaf models that the game will choose as the world generates, as each tree is placed in the world, based off different block states. That's one thing I'm very excited that I discovered. This has all been brand new to me. To be honest, I have not played a lot of modded Minecraft before this mod pack, and the reason for that is because it always felt very confusing. That's another thing I'm trying to tone down as far as the gameplay goes for this mod pack. I want it to be easily accessible, easy to learn, and very fun and rewarding. Obviously, Unbound Shaders makes the water look beautifully realistic. There's foam at the edges of the blocks as it touches land. I've specifically set some of the water settings so that the visibility is a little less underwater, makes it feel a little more realistic. But at the same time, you can still see. So that's I'm not being mean, I'm not reducing the visibility too much. You can also hear a few of the other custom sound effects. Ambient sounds. That mod is going in the background. Adds in all the beautiful forest sounds in the birch forest. Or, if we're in the stony shores over here, it'll slowly fade out the forest sounds and transition to more of a beach sound. You can hear the waves crashing. You can hear seagulls. Absolutely beautiful. Oh, looks like we got a developing thunderstorm. Perfect. That is one of the features I wanted to showcase a little bit. Because Proto-Manly's weather, oh man. It is the coolest weather mod I have ever found for Minecraft. The most realistic weather mod I have ever found for Minecraft. As a storm chaser, a hobbyist storm chaser learning the craft of storm chasing, I can tell you this is gorgeous looking. Obviously, the storm is a little further than I anticipated. So give the world a little time to catch up with chunk gen. I have noticed that flying causes the chunk gen to lag a little bit more than just your regular survival gameplay. But it's not unbearable. And the reason for that is because the terrain is a little bit more realistically overhauled. I'm using the Tectonic mod along with a bunch of biome mods. So it should feel a lot more realistic. But you can see, got our developing thunderstorm there. Got a nice, heavy precip core developing over there. And actually, if I open my inventory, I could pull up... Let's pull up the radar block. So if I plop this down, we can take a look at our storm developing on a radar over there. The world map that generates with the radar isn't fully accurate. It's not very high resolution. Obviously, in real life, radar doesn't usually have terrain maps that go with it either. But this is helpful for Minecraft, so you can kind of see where the storm is in comparison to you, especially with regards to biomes. Obviously, the more intense the core, the more red and orange it'll get. Oh yeah, it's got a zoom mod. You just hold down Z, and you can scroll in and out. So we can even zoom in up on the storm there itself. It's trying to develop a little rotation. We'll see if it actually makes it. Nice inflow tail there. See, this is just so beautiful. I love this. Oh, we got a little hail core. Hail core pink trying to develop. Nice, nice. Now, the radar has different modes. If you right-click, you can switch to velocity signature. This shows the direction the storm is moving. Red next to green indicates rotation, so we've got a little bit of rotation trying to develop. Nothing intense enough for a tornado yet, but this is definitely becoming a supercell. So that is beautiful. And then this last mode, this is, I believe this is either moisture content in the atmosphere or... Yeah, I think that's what it is. I think it's moisture content. So obviously, the ecotops, or the moisture content, is pretty high with this cell, because it's reaching high into the atmosphere of Minecraft. Oh yeah, we got a developing wall cloud now. Okay, cool, 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 cool. This is perfect. This is one of the things I wanted to showcase. This is beautiful. Wow. And then obviously with the shaders, oh man, this looks stunning. This is cool. Okay, it's trying to hook, It's not quite getting there yet. You may have also noticed that when I look down, I see myself. I see my actual player character skin. That is the third person in first person mod. I added that for immersion and realism too, because in real life, if you were to look down at yourself in just real life, you would see yourself. In Minecraft, that's actually not the case. In regular vanilla Minecraft, you would not see your body. This might also help you land some of those difficult parkour jumps for those of you who do parkour. And it just makes it feel a little bit more immersive and real. I hit F1 to turn off the inventory so we can focus on the visuals here. Yep, developing wall cloud. Trying to rotate. Excellent. Oh yeah, look. Tightening couplet over there. Nice. This is perfect. Wow. Some other really cool features of the weather mod. The anemometers. You can plop those down. Hard to see without my inventory. There we go. And they actually do spin, just like a real-life anemometer. If you right-click on them, and you have F1 enabled, it'll tell you wind speeds at where you're currently at. This really comes into play if you're really close to the developing storm. Also, if you're in a hurricane. Hurricanes just have steady winds. Those will develop sometimes. And it looks like we've got a little bit of a funnel cloud trying to form right there. Beautiful. Let's go check that out. Yep, it's hooking, tightening up nicely. Okay. So, if I fly over there to that storm. Now, this won't be a tornado because it's over water, so this is more of a water spout. But a nice, beautiful water spout at sunset. It really showcases the possibilities of this weather mod and why I love it so much. Though it is harder to see in the dark. And these storms do get very dark. Oh yeah, there we go. Dropping down nicely. Okay, chunks are still generating the ocean a little. That's fine. Oh, wow, yeah. Just like in real life. These... Oh, beautiful lightning flash. And the thunder. Oh, I love how this overhauls the thunder. It actually depends on the distance of how close you are to the thunder lightning strike. How loud the thunder is. Very realistic there. Okay, yeah, it's getting a little dark. Hard to see. Let me set the time to daylight. That would help. Perfect. There we go. Oh yeah, our water spout touched down. Debris cloud on the water. Beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. Wow. I love this mod so much. It is so cool. Oh! It's obvious you can't fly around and chase storms like this in real life, so enjoy it while you can in the game. Or the Modpack. But yeah. Nice, beautiful cone water spout. Gorgeous. Obviously, the closer you get to it, the louder you can hear the roar. You can even go inside of it if you wanted. But obviously, it's really hard to see anything that way. Stunning. Love that. Now, this mod also does have tropical storms and hurricanes. You'll be able to tell when those start developing. They're a lot bigger than supercells. Huge, even. And the whole sky just sort of turns dark and starts raining like crazy, and the wind picks up, and you just see that. Sometimes the hurricanes and tropical storms will drop tornadoes, but it's not a guarantee. Just like in real life. But, oh, yep, looks like our storm is starting to fizzle a little. That's okay. That is perfectly fine. But the thing I love about this mod is that it's all dynamically generated. This is all dependent on the biome parameters in Minecraft. So, like, this ocean depends on the ocean surface temperatures. It depends on the upper atmosphere temperatures. It depends on how much moisture is in the air. Like, obviously, you're not going to get these kind of storms in a desert as often. It depends on the terrain. Like, the mountains will affect how strong those cells become due to how they push the air parcels into the atmosphere. It's just absolutely amazing. Okay, we're getting a little bit of visual lag here. Oh, yeah. Catch up, server. Catch up. So this might be a little bit of a problem in creative mode. For those of you who like to build a creative, I am going to try and improve that where I can. But, oh man, it seems like I've lost my land spawn. Oh, there it is. That works. Now you'll notice some of my leaf textures aren't realistic yet. This is just the default leaf textures for these biome mods trees that they add, and my leaf models, default leaf models. But I will eventually update all the textures and all the models that I possibly can to make everything look as realistic and immersive as possible. But as I was saying, so some of you in creative, if weather really becomes a problem, lagging the generation of the world and lagging what you're working on, feel free to disable it. That's always an option. That is completely within your control. You just go into the mod settings, into the config settings of Pyromaniacs weather, or PM weather is for short, and you can just disable that. And then re-enable it when you need it. So let's talk about the world gen a little bit more. So let's talk about that. Obviously with shaders, all our plants sway in the wind a bit. That is beautiful. I believe we're in an orchard right now because we've got apple trees. This is biomes we've gone. I've also got biomes aplenty and tirelessly. Those are the main biome mods that I've used. And I've customized which biomes are allowed. And the reason for that is some of them were way too fantasy-like, didn't quite fit the realistic feel I was going for. And then others were somewhat problematic, like in terms of how they generated within the world. There are a few select biomes that kind of push the realism to its limits. I'm not going to say what those biomes are, but you've probably seen a few screenshots of them even. But the reason for that is they were just so stunningly beautiful. I couldn't say no to those. I had to include them. You'll notice I already did textures for more of the realistic logs and woods for these particular trees, at least. I'll do the leaves later. It's a lot of work going through all these textures, so that's why most of it has been taking so long, because I have to do this all by myself. Granted, I do use ChatGPT to help me with the textures. I want to support artists doing this, but I believe the artist that I commissioned initially didn't quite understand how Minecraft worked, and so this didn't quite work. If you know anybody who can make photorealistic textures for Minecraft, please send them my way. I will happily invest in that, because that will obviously turn out much more, even more realistic results. But ChatGPT has done pretty good so far with what I was able to do with it, especially subscription. But it's not just ChatGPT. After ChatGPT generates the original textures, I have to take them, put them into Canva, and then sometimes tweak their saturation, their color tints, their temperatures, all that sharpness, all that good stuff. So it still has a lot of the human element to it, because I am personally crafting those textures to look as beautiful as they can in game. Oh yeah, you can see these little rocks that generate on the ground. You can pick those up in survival. That's actually very helpful to some of the survival mechanics. I'll showcase that in a later video. The sticks also generate there from various trees. Unfortunately, the biome modded trees do not have that capability yet. However, another feature of this mod pack that I'm super proud of is that I've taught myself JavaScript. Literally, out of the frying pan into the fire, taught myself how to code in JavaScript. And I have custom scripts for some of the gameplay mechanics. Most of them are survival-based mechanics, but some of them add new items to the game. Some of them add new foods or ingredients, all beautiful to contribute to the immersion of the game. So I'm hoping that maybe I can add that with the different types of stones and rocks and tree branches and stuff later, but we'll see. I think I can do it. It should just be a matter of importing the models into Blockbench, importing the textures, and a little customization in the JSON folder structure. Shouldn't be too hard. But yeah, let's just take a stroll. I'm gonna turn F1 back on so that you can see the biome info mod. It tells you what biome you're in right above your hotbar. So like as I enter this way, it should pop up with orchard. Oops. Oh, I guess I haven't left the orchard biome yet. Let's try and do that. Like if I leave the orchard biome, it should pop up with the new biome. Like over here, this would be Stony Short. Yep, just like that. So if you're ever lost and you remember the biome you were in, that's a very handy feature. Oh, yep, birch taiga. Ooh. Pretty. Oh, got another thunderstorm developing. You'll notice some of the textures I haven't done yet, like the sweet berry bushes. That's just for this version. As time goes on, I will add more and more textures. You'll also notice we've got entity model features and model text or entity textures, so that we've got fresh animations added to the pack. This adds another super detailed level of realism, like our chicken buddy here. Cluck cluck. He is going to be gating around like a chicken. Actually would in real life. With all that pecking around. It's actually making me a bit peckish. Anyway, you'll notice I've overhauled the lava textures. This looks just outstanding. I love how this turned out. You could feel the heat. And if you weren't convinced as how hot it was, my temperature is right there next to my hot bar. That's another feature I added. That's more of a survival mechanic, though. We'll talk about that later. But I love how hot and realistic this looks. This is beautiful. This is as high definition as I could get it without too much performance issue. Obviously, it looks way better in the light, or at night. Oh man, a lot of thunder over there. Holy moly. Big storm. Okay. The redwood trees are gorgeous for biomes of plenty. I love the redwood forest. It reminds me of my brief time in California. So that's another good biome. Gorgeous. I've got fern textures. Haven't done the tall ferns, the large ferns yet, but I'll get to those. So pretty. Now, one thing I did want to showcase. With complementary shaders unbound specifically, when you switch to a biome that is tagged snowy, like the birch taiga, for some reason, even though it doesn't really get snowy unless it's winter, which is seasons, I'll talk about that later, you actually get the Aurora Borealis, which is stunning with these shaders. I absolutely love this. So beautiful. Oh, you can hear crickets. Listen. And a wolf. I love it. It's so much more immersive now. Oh, and pine cones. Pine cones are a thing, too. Now, big storm. Given that Wildborne is realistic, mob spawns are also changed. So, witches, unfortunately, do exist in real life. And so do spiders. So, those are your main enemy threats in terms of survival. For now. And, you know, of course, pillagers and any other type of human that is a problem. But, yeah. Pretty cool stuff. Now, another really cool feature that I really liked is I found a mod that actually scales mobs at different sizes. So you'll notice this spider is a bit smaller than your normal spider. So it'll have less health, as shown up by the health indicators up there, and a little more speed. So every mob will be a different challenge to either fight or hunt as you survive in the mod pack, adding a variability and a new realism to it. Now, Endermen are still a thing, but that's because they're interdimensional beings. I left them in because I do have the End and the Nether still as a gameplay thing, a gameplay mechanic. I'm not sure fully what I'm going to do with them yet. Except for the Nether, it's basically going to be hell. But right now my main focus is on the overworld. Got to get that finished before I, push the public beta release out. Now, complementary shaders itself is one of the shaders I'm going to be packaging a profile specifically for Wildborne 4. The other shader that's going to come with it is Makeup shader, Makeup Ultra Fast shaders. Those are both very solid shaders. Makeup is better for a little bit lower end PCs because it's a little bit more performant, gives you a bit more FPS, frames per second, gets you a bit more memory, but still gives you that beautiful realistic shader feel. The water for that is pretty much the same except for the foam and a little bit more detail. Obviously no Aurora Borealis if you've got the makeup shaders enabled. But the main idea is I want it to be possible for any player regardless of their PC, to pick it up, download it, install the mod pack, and enjoy it right out the gate. They can tweak settings as they need to, depending on the performance they're getting, what with shaders and video settings and all of that. But overall, the idea is I want as many people to enjoy this. This is a passion project of mine. This is something I've wanted to do for a long time. I love Minecraft, and I want to push how realistic can I get it and still make it performant so that everybody can enjoy it, and so that it feels kind of like a new game. Or Minecraft 2.0 if you really want to be memey about it, kind of meme-oriented there. Let's go check out some caves, because this is beautiful, but the underground has also been changed. Oh, whoa. This is kind of a cool terrain, Jen. Kind of got like a little mountain valley stony shore. That's unique. I think this biome with the snow is the Rocky Mountains. Yep. Tirelessly Rocky Mountains. Love it. Really cool looking. Now, unfortunately, because of the storm, I can't show you exactly how beautiful the night looks. Clouds, you know, they block your view of the stars and stuff, just like in real life, unfortunately. But you may have noticed that that there are a lot more stars, maybe even some space dust and planets in the distance there. Here, actually, I got an idea. How about I clear the weather? PM weather clear. All. Now we can see the beautiful night. Check this out. So, we've got our Aurora Borealis because we're in a snowy birch taiga biome. Even though it's not really snowy, I think that's just a tag thing. But we've got our photorealistic moon. We've got galaxies, stars, maybe even some planets. Can't quite fully tell. While Wildborne is a realistic idea of Minecraft, we don't really know what space looks like in Minecraft, so I'm going to have some fun with that later in future updates. But just look at how stunningly beautiful this is. Absolutely breathtaking. This is what I feel Minecraft should be like. It's already beautiful in vanilla, but I'm just kicking it up a notch, or several notches, really. Hello. And even without the Borealis, like if I were to switch biomes to like the Stony Shore, which does not have the snowy tag, so the Borealis will not show up. See, it fades away. It still looks gorgeous. Like, look at that. You can see the Milky Way streaking across. Absolutely stunning. My custom music will be playing throughout the entire gameplay experience. I have a mod that changes which tracks play depending on the biome, so it'll always feel like it fits. That's another special goal of mine with the entire mod pack. Alright, but like I said, let's head underground. We've also got manure. That's an important survival mechanic. I'll talk about that in another video. But let's head underground. Let's locate... Actually, you know what? I'll just put myself into spectator mode. And we're gonna go underground. Let's check out some caves. Here we go. Here's a cave. Alright. With Tectonic, the cave generation is insane. You've got these giant cheese caves with giant holes. Absolutely beautiful. You've got lush caves still, which I'm overhauling with the realistic models of texture, so it looks even more immersive that way. You'll also notice we've got a little bit of reverb here. Bats and mobs and anything that makes a sound echoes off the walls of the cave, just like in real life. That is the Sound Physics mod. Love that mod. Makes it feel so much more creepy and sinister. So caves are a little bit scarier to explore now, but it's realistic. Now, there are several new cave biomes, too, added from both Biomes of Plenty and Tirelessly. I'm going to see if I can try and find some of those. You'll notice my new glow lichen. Love how that looks, especially with shaders. Let's see if we can find a new cave biome. Oh, this looks like dripstone. There we go. Okay, this is better. This is better. Got deep slate now. Okay. So we've got dripstone caves, as usual. But look at just how massive these are. And what I love about the shaders, too, is they can add cave fog effects. Like you'll see in the distance, you can't quite see as many details in the cave. Just like in real life. Caves are sometimes foggy. With the lava, it looks really pretty. Wow. Let's see if we can find one of the new biomes, though. This is all standard vanilla Minecraft. Oh, new ores. Haven't added new textures for those yet. That's the immersive engineering mod. You can do a lot of really cool realistic engineering that way. Adds a bunch of new minerals and elements, metals, and such. You can start building machinery. All sorts of really cool stuff. Get to that more in the survival video. Still can't find one of the new cave biomes, though. Alright. Switch back to spectator and find one of those. Oh look, we got our ray trace lighting trying to peek through spectator. One thing I love about Tectonic is with its overworld overhaul, it also creates these giant lava rivers underground. Makes it feel like you're hot and close to the Earth's core, which is exactly what it would be like in real life. If you were to dig deep enough or find a cave deep enough, eventually you would find a lot of lava and magma, so that makes sense. Structures do generate still. There are still certain structures that I've allowed to generate. Oh, there we go, lush cave, that looks pretty. Oh, gorgeous. See, when you start getting goosebumps and chills from how pretty it looks, that's when you know you're getting close to your final vision for the game. Or in this case, for my Modpack. Okay, now, I still can't find a structure or a new cave biome right now. But that's okay. If I have to, I'll showcase that in another video later. Oh, looks like we're under the ocean. Interesting. Yep, there we go. Nice. I love this. So pretty. I swear I'm never going to play Minecraft the same way again. Oh, yep, see, there's a structure. Ruined portals. Those are still a thing. Because the nether is still a thing. Didn't remove that completely. Check out those magma blocks. Oh, I love how those turned out. Loot chests. Loot chests have been kind of changed a little bit. They're per player based. So, if a player sees a loot chest with gold on it, that means they have not collected the loot inside that chest yet. And they get specific special loot exclusively for them. So, like, if I open this... Oh, inventory sort. That's another helpful feature. All this loot will be specific to me. If another player opens this chest, they'll have different loot. And that's good. Because one thing I've always had a trouble with in multiplayer is when one of your friends gets to a chest and they take everything in it and you don't get anything left. No fun, right? Now everybody gets specific stuff. And if you're cooperative players, like me and my brothers tend to be, then you can just share the loot. Oh, you need chest plate, cool. I need your leggings, cool. Trade ya. You know, that sort of thing. I do have some of the new, more photorealistic nether textures ready, like the nether rack here. I could show you the nether, but it's not quite fully ready yet. Not quite where I want it to be yet. But the overworld, getting very, very close. Okay, let's locate one of those new cave biomes. Let's do... locate biome. Let's do mantle caves. Oops. That's a Terralith biome. Terralith mantle caves. Terralith adds most of the new cave biomes. There we go. Now, one thing I did optimize a little bit, the locate feature, because worlds are now super big and biomes are a lot bigger too. It takes a little bit of time. Yep, see, there you go. And things are usually a lot farther away, like 4,000 blocks. But the reason for that is because in real life, these kind of biomes are a lot bigger too. In real life, it's very rare to get like, oh, we've got a plains right next to a mountain. Like, there's usually somewhat more of a gradual transition between them. And so that's the idea behind that. Okay, rendering, catch up. Oh, dark. Spooky. Okay, let's see if we can find the actual cave down here. Nope. Okay. Mantle caves. Mantle caves. There we go. Oh, no, that's underwater. Deep caves. See, that's another new one. Where are the mantle caves? Said it was around here somewhere. Oh, see, this is kind of cool. This is a deep underwater cave. Obviously, that would be a lot harder to explore. Oh, okay. See, it's more of an underground river aquifer. Oh, yeah, that's cool too. Yeah, so with Tectonic, you get these massive underwater rivers that just sort of span thousands of blocks, and usually these are underneath big overworld biomes. So in essence, you've got these beautiful underground rivers that you can navigate to kind of skip scaling the mountains. If you realize that you can't survive scaling a whole giant mountain range, you can sort of find an underground river and then just sort of boat along underneath it. There's still going to be some risks, some survival challenges that way, but it's usually a safer bet than climbing up and over, because the higher you go, the colder it gets, so that's a risk. Oh, sounds like we got a rainstorm IRL. Hold on. Yeah, I'm gonna have to close the window. Wow. Oh, yep, see, here's daylight. See, yep. So this is a regular old river in between two highlands biomes and under a cherry grove. Whoa. And it looks like we've got a maple forest. Cool. So yeah, so like, if I were to fly up here after the terrain is finished generating the chunks, you can see that way up there we've got these huge rocky mountains. Now, obviously, you could climb through all these biomes and get up there. Oh, it's a sakura grove. Okay. I get up there, but you see, that's a frozen mountain range. Absolutely stunning. Look at how big those are. Beautiful peaks. But obviously, climbing up that, it's survival. Whew, that would be tough. You see the temperature? Look at that, 4 degrees. Brr, freezing. -6, -15. Yeah, okay, that would be real dangerous to climb over unless you've got proper cold gear. So that's what those underground rivers are for. You can just hop in a boat, travel under the mountain range, and pop out on the other side. You'll also see with Complementary Unbound, these shaders add sort of clouds at certain altitudes. So once you get up to a certain height in the world, the clouds just sort of show up beneath you, just like in real life, because you're way up high and the atmosphere is thin. Now, if I were to pull up F3, yeah, look at that. We're at 305, 306. Tectonic overhauls the world gen so that mountain ranges are vastly bigger. They can stretch all the way from sea level to like 300 plus blocks, some up to 320 even. So they're huge. Definitely fixes the scale problem that Minecraft has, makes mountain ranges feel more intimidating and actually like mountains. Definitely a little bit harder to survive in those biomes, but it's doable. It's absolutely doable. The temperature is survivable that way. Just got to get the right equipment. Alright, we got a temperate grove. Beautiful. Look at this. So many new types of biomes, too, with different tree colors, like the trees that change in fall, or aspen trees, and yeah, it's just so pretty. Now, once I find that river, I can show you what I was talking about with the under the whole mountain range thing. It's gotta be around here somewhere. Oh, we got a prairie. See, so many new biomes to explore. Just gorgeous. Oh, I think that's the river down there. Let me go find that. There we go. Yeah, there it is. There it is. So as you can see, the river pops out on this side of the mountain range. But as soon as the chunks catch up, that is the biggest performance issue while flying. That is the hardest part. Because Minecraft tries to render a bunch of chunks as you're flying, and that's kind of taxing on the CPU. But obviously, you wouldn't be flying in survival most of the time, unless you've got elytras, which is a niche scenario. But yeah, see, you've got this massive underground river cave system. And if you just follow the river, eventually it'll lead you out the other side. So, like, we just climbed up over that whole mountain range up above, but if you just follow this right underneath, you'll eventually get to the end. What do we have over here? Is this a mantle cave? Oh, okay, so see, this is one of the new mantle cave biomes. It's a lot hotter, for one, because it's literally the Earth's mantle. But magma blocks spawn in those. That's why I wanted to show that. Usually get a little bit of lava and heat that way too. But yeah, see, look, the temperature's actually a little reasonable to survive in here. It's like 80 degrees. It's hot, but it's not too overbearing. You could definitely survive a boat ride through this river underground to the other side of the mountain range much more easily than climbing up the frozen peaks and dealing with negative 16. That would freeze you to death. And there you go. Bam. Pop out on the other side. And it's just stunningly pretty that way. Like, look at that. Wonderful. Oh, we have the Scottish Highlands. Wow. I think this is a lavender forest. Jacaranda Glade. That was close. So many biomes, I can't even remember them all now. Modpack altogether will have 200 plus biomes. You got your vanilla Minecraft biomes, but then you've got another 160 plus new biomes. So much exploration and adventure to be had here. It's gonna be fun. Can't wait to do the survival video. But for now, this is what I wanted to show you guys. Mostly the overworld generation, the beautiful visuals, and sort of where the progress lies on that. Can't wait to publicly release this for you guys. It's amazing. But for now, I gotta sign off, and I'll publish this video soon, and then publish the survival gameplay video soon, so you guys can see some of the more realistic, overhauled survival mechanics, which will be much different experience than creative, for sure. Thank you all so much for watching. Please subscribe to see more updates on the Modpack as I get closer and closer to releasing it. And, you know, turn on notifications so that you don't miss any. And, I really can't wait to share this with you guys. It's been a long project because I've had to port it over to numerous different mod loaders and versions and yada yada yada. But I think I'm finally reaching a very close to final version. Obviously, this isn't the most recent version of Minecraft. This is 1.21.1. They already came out with 1.21.5. But this is the most recent version that I could get everything all the mods that I needed for it on. So that's why it's on 1.21.1. But that is one of the more major recent versions that most people play on. So hopefully that'll be good for everybody. So I shall see you guys in the next video.